here until you're ready to wake up and start doing things properly! Right now, you're a disgrace to my kitchen and to the Hotel de Boer name!
It was an accident.
I'm sorry, did you hear me asking for excuses?
No, I'll do better, I promise.
Why is she so aggressive? She won't even listen to what the poor girl has to say. Oh, hey, cut her some slack. You gotta at least hear her out.
Wait!
Huh? Who do you think you are telling me? Wait a sec. Navia? So, you're bringing backup now. Suit yourself! You're still wasting your time!
Savannah, is this how you always treat your staff?
My staff is right. I'm the one in charge here now. And last time I checked, the Hotel de Boer doesn't take orders from the Spina di Rosula.
Of course. How you run your kitchen is none of our business. But when a member of your staff is so overworked he becomes gravely ill, that most definitely is our business. We're going to stand up for him, whether you like it or not.
Overworked? I've said it before and I'll say it again. If Vermont can't handle the job, then tough luck. There are plenty of other capable people I can hire instead.
But Philmont can do the job, he just...
Monica, back it...
Huh?
Just do as you're told, and not another word out of you! Come on, we have work to do!
Wow, what a horrible person!
Sorry. Looks like I've dragged you into some drama again. Her name is Savannah. She's the new head chef at Hotel de Boer. Ever since she took the job, she's been enforcing a brutal work regime and putting a huge amount of pressure on her staff. One guy was so overworked, he collapsed from illness. He's been bedridden for days, and he can barely even talk properly.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I don't deserve to be a chef.
At his family's request, Savannah is our next thought, and that's why I'm here, doing it the old-fashioned way. Camping out?
Oh, shoot!
Oh, no, not at all, Paimon. And besides, I don't really think I'm built for espionage. Yeah, meaning it's gonna...
Paimon will join you.
Guys, it's a really famous chef just joined the Spina di Rosula's tavern. Her name is...
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to This is a small token from us. It's some candy from Monica. She asked me to make sure it was delivered into your hands.
Monica's the one apologizing? Huh. Clearly Savannah is the one who owes an apology.
Our head chef has been a little highly strung lately. Sorry for everything.
All right. Since there's candy...
Thank you for understanding. We'll make sure to pass your feedback on to Miss Savannah.
A little highly strung, huh?
Paimon doesn't get it. How did someone like her even become head chef?
Well, according to Fermat's family, she hasn't all...
Paimon totally gets it. Come on, dig in! Huh? Hold on, there's something written on the wrapper. Find...
Scoffier? Could this mean...
Huh? You know that name, Navia?
Yeah. Let's stick to the plan and go back to the Fleuve Cendre for now. That's where we'll find a Scoffier anyway.
Gotta find that balance.
Take a guess. There's no point worrying about the future.
say, anyway?
Well, for starters, she used to be the head chef at the Hotel de Boer. Before Savannah, she recreated the legendary Gâteau de Boer and restored the Safe to say, she's the most renowned head chef in the Hotel de Boer's
Gâteau de Boer? That's the super exclusive cake that they only sell a few slices a day, right? Wow.
Well, apparently, the Hotel de Boer was reported for a safety incident. Someone claimed that the kitchen was adding an illegal substance to their menu. But none of the chefs had any idea how it could have gotten into the food.
The Fortress of Mirabede?
Escoffier didn't have to stay in the fortress.
So that's what happened.
Even though Escoffier is no longer head chef at the hotel, she's still well respected by the staff. So, I'm guessing what Monica wants is for us to convince Escoffier to...
Oh, Paimon gets it! Monica wants a Scoffier. It's simple. If the...
You thought cream of mushroom soup was ready to serve after 3.5 minutes on the stove! You'd have had more sense serving hot water with ice cubes. At least then, you wouldn't have wasted all this perfectly good cream and mushroom!
I'm sorry, Cream. I'm sorry, Mushroom.
As you can see, Escoffier is that kind of chef as well.
You have to leave it on the heat for long enough to allow those flavors the chance to come out. Don't be fooled by the aroma when the water
Yes, Chef.
Then go back and do it again. The customers are still waiting. Remember where you went wrong and don't repeat the same mistake twice.
Yes, Chef.
Excuse us, we're...
Waiting to be served? Sorry, we're pretty busy. I'm afraid you have to join the line.
Oh, no, we're not here to eat.
So you're not paying customers? Then I'm afraid the wait will be even longer.
It's hard to talk to Escoffier when she's in the zone. Let's take a seat. We can catch up.
Looks like the rush hour is finally over. Is it always this busy?
These days, yes. I'd say business has tripled since Escoffier joined as temporary head chef. Well, in her words, the Hotel de Boer doesn't need her anymore.
I guess I'll be heading off then.
Wait, take these home with you. We can't serve them now, and there's no sense in letting them go to waste.
Oh.
For what? Like I said, I just don't want them going to waste. Oh, and tell Fiamma to get well soon, so you're not running yourself ragged every...
Fiamma. That's the second time we've heard that name. Who is that again?
He's the chef that fell ill from stress. Hilaire is his son. And with Mom stuck at home taking care of Dad, he decided to pick up some work to help pay the bills. Escoffier knows their situation, so she's been making some extra food every day for him to take.
Hey, I heard that, Navia! I've told you before, no one's making extra food. Hilaire is making blunders in the kitchen, and I can't serve his failed dishes, so he...
Yeah, failed dishes that just so happen to be nutritionally completed.
So, you two must be the world-famous traveler and her companion.
Oh, so you know us already. We'll skip the introduction then. We're here to talk about Savannah.
Oh, I certainly am. The Spina's headquarters are right next to the tavern. And I've lost count of the number of times Navi has come to pester me about it. But I don't work for the Hotel de Boer anymore. And being ex-head chef doesn't give me the right to interfere with that business. Besides, I'm the one who persuaded Savannah to...
What?
Well, she was a much gentler person back then. A little timid, even.
That's hard to believe. Are we?
Honestly, I do wonder if she's just emulating me. I mean, I'm not the most pleasant head chef to be around either. Anyway, suffice to say that given Fiamar and the others probably think that Savannah...
I wouldn't be so sure about that,
She mentioned me?
Whatever shortcomings you feel you have.
Monica.
Plus, it's not like we're asking you to storm in there and raise hell. We're only in the initial phase of our investigation. All we're trying to do is get the other chefs to open up to us.
Oh, Monica. I can't believe her! Unbelievable! I won't stand for this!
Wait, so now she's,
Let's go catch up to her. We don't want to keep her waiting.
Wait, she looks like...
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I messed up your order.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. Maybe the taste is a little off, but if you hadn't...
But, please.
What the heck?
Get up, Monica! Can't you see that you're just making your customer... If you want forgiveness, then do what any self-respecting chef would do. Make the dish again. And this time, get it right.
Savannah said that I'm not allowed back in the kitchen until I've corrected my mistake.
That's some backwards...
We apologize for interrupting your meal, sir.
It's fine. With...
Oh...
Gosh, that's pretty strict. Has she always been that way? I don't recall things being like this when a scoffier was head chef here. I gotta...
I mean, we all knew that these days, and it's only gotten worse since word got out that Chef...
Monica, you don't need to call me chef.
Yeah, but through no fault of your own. What happened back then? That wasn't on you, and that banquet was a huge event.
Lumaline? What's that?
A new drug from the Fontaine Research Institute. Produced from an extract of the Lumi...
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. They found out you can use it as a flavor enhancer since it's...
They also... Unfortunately, however...
Everyone knows that but you took all the blame. And now look at you.
What are you trying to say?
Oh.
Besides...
If
I'm sorry? Do you have a problem with my conduct as head chef? So, you do remember who's boss. Scoffier?
What happened to you, Savannah? Why are you acting like this? When I turned the...
You made me the head chef and gave up your right to tell me how to do my job. You're not the boss here anymore. So stop!
Whoa. Sounds like someone has a chip on her shoulder.
Oh, Savannah! My God, have you grown a temper since I last saw you? Have you put even half the amount of energy into improving your cooking skills, or are you still using the Pluie Lotus as an off-brand marcotte, thinking no one can tell the difference?
That's none of your business!
Ho ho! I was not expecting...
Huh? Fan Asian?
Aye, me ladies.
Might I make a,
The traditional way?
That's right! I'm talking of...
According to legend, the founders of the cooking contest would...
Huh.
Ah, well, it might sound that way to us. And indeed.
Reintroduction?
What say you, Escoffier?
Sure. Exhibition. If we're going to battle it out, let's put it all up.
I don't want anything to happen to you.
But if you lose...
What? The Codex de Boer?
Only the legendary handbook written by the original head chef Modeste. It contains all his secret recipe. It's the greatest treasure in Fontaine's culinary world. And only the present and former head chefs.
Present and former? Wait, but that...
What do you want that old thing for? You have your own copy, don't you?
Don't take me for a fool. You know perfectly well I want your copy. The original version. The one you took with you when you left.
I'm sorry, I must be missing something. You know, there's no difference between the original and the copy, right? They contain the exact...
Stop trying to change the topic. What's wrong, Scoffier? Scared you're gonna lose to me? Oh, I'm sure it won't be an issue. As long as both sides... And as for the contest itself, let's make it a bake-off. Gâteau de Boer, per the recipe in the Codex. Well, Scoffier...
You said... Alright then, let's see how... I hope you
Believe me,
Escoffier, are you sure this is a good idea? You accepted her terms
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's head back to the Fleuve Cendres so I can get prepping.
So... this whole bake-off thing kinda came out of...
Well, I got a sense that she's holding...
Huh?
Escoffier only picked up on it.
That's...
Okay.
Oh, that? Well, it's not so much a recipe book as a diary of Modeste's adventure. Back in the day, he and his good friend Savelli explored far and wide. Partly adventuring, partly looking for new ingredients. For instance, legend has it that the original Gâteau de Boer was made using a special secret ingredient. That Modeste... So rare was the ingredient that they could never make more than 16 slices of the cake per day. But everyone who tried it claimed that it was one of the most blissful and invigorating things. Modeste and Savelli went on to found the original Hôtel de Boer. Especially Modeste. He was hailed as a once-in-a-generation genius. And over time...
Ah, Paimon's heard this kind of story before.
What? No, of course not. Cooking is a constantly evolving art form. How could any restaurant survive if they only served food that was popular last century? Anyway, never mind centuries. Savelli and Modeste parted ways not even 10 years, and that was it. The end. Even then, it still took numerous relocations and changes of management.
Oh! So the Codex really isn't all that, then. Paimon figured it was like one of those mystical books they have in Liyue's martial arts novels?
Yes, well, that's fiction, and this is reality. You can't meet the tastes of modern diners by following some ancient recipes from a dusty old book.
Case in point. Even the Gâteau de Boer they sell now is actually Escoffier's reimagining.
Wait, really? What?
It did, but like I said, it's the dusty old book now, and the records aren't as legible as they once were. Not to mention that there's no way of finding the secret so reimagination is right. I consulted some historical records and took what I could from the Codex. But ultimately, the Gâteau... As for why we gave it the same name and kept the tradition of only selling 16 slices a day, well, you've got Vanagem's business sense to thank for that.
Oh!
Hey now, it might not be the original Gâteau de Boer, but it's still the most delicious cake in Fontaine to just think.
Anyway, before I left my...
Could it be...
Well, it was clearly precious, maybe from her...
you think?
What?
Who knows? We could... It means vesting her in this bake. However much she's changed since we worked...
Well, I'm confident.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Gâteau de Boer is very complicated. Now, if I had to push it, I could probably do the work of 3 chefs myself. But I'd prefer to play it safe if I can find a couple.
Well, that's easy. The three of us are veterans in the kitchen.
Well, I have heard the Traveler is an accomplished cook, as well as a warrior. But be warned, I will hold you to exception.
Oh, count me in too. I've spent weeks perfecting my macarons after your scathing review. Even if it means competing against the Traveler, so be it.
Confident.
I've always called it chopping stuff up, not mise en place. But it's basically the same thing, right?
Oh, Navia. The difference in... Looks like you found that easier than I expected.
Yeah, thankfully it was pretty straightforward in the end. You made it sound like we'd be carving statues out of fruits or something.
Well, brace yourself, because the next step is anything but straightforward. A kind of special food... but this isn't exactly standard kitchen equipment, so that...
Custom-made equipment from the Fontaine Research Institute, huh? That's some pretty high-tech food prep. Hannah's never used anything this weird before. Cool. No, weird.
And done. These are the flavor compounds extract...
Wow! Even the smell is so much more concentrated. Oh.
Absolutely. I'll demonstrate again. Slowly and carefully. And voila! Now it's your turn. But the Traveler's work was surprisingly good. Are you sure you've never done this? That goes without saying. Still, credit where credit's due. Alright, now for the part I've been looking forward to. I want each of you to cook some... That's right. Let's go. An inspired melange. My opponent.
Forth, my blade. Submit for judgment. A touch of frost.
Got something for you.
Whirling snow. Ever seen one of these?
One with my blade. Forth, my blade.
Bon appetit! Ever seen one of these?
Let's get this interview.
How's it going? Have you picked a dish yet? Choose wisely. I expect you... Look at that! With the grace of a snow-winged goose's...
Pretty good, right? Not to brag or anything, but Paimon's a...
6 points.
What? Oh, well,
That's 6 out of 100.
what?
You say you're a connoisseur, but it's quite clear from this dish that you have far more experience consuming food than creating it. By that logic, I suppose you think listening...
Aw.
Oh, me next, me next! I'll have you know that this batch of macarons has 2 whole tablespoons less sugar than my previous ones.
So you went from 12 tablespoons to 10? Well, it's nice to know you actually measured it.
Aw.
Now to the final dish.
So,
This is our last hope.
8 points.
darn. That's...
Not exactly. The color is spot on. Beautiful aroma. Excellent presentation. I have to give this one 8 points out of 10. Maybe even not.
Huh? How did you pull that off?
Don't get me wrong. There's room for improvement. But still, this is clearly the work of an accomplished chef. I can tell that you've put many hours of work into honing your skills in the kitchen. I can really taste the grace of the snow-winged goose in this dish. The traveler's journey, with all its trials, tribulations, and setbacks. Not to mention the frustrations of having a picky eater for a partner.
Hey, you made that last part up! No way did you taste that!
Well, it looks like I lost fair and
But if it takes 3 chefs, that still leaves 1 slot remaining!
Chef scoffier.
Oh, it's Hilaire! What brings you here?
I heard the news about the cooking contest. You're...
And do you think...
Oh, no, I know I'm not there yet. It's actually my dad who wanted to help.
Firma, last I heard, you could barely get out of bed.
Chef Escoffier, Navia, I've had enough of sitting around at home while you run yourselves ragged. If you let me, I'd like...
Yeah.
Don't you worry. I'll be fine. I'm feeling much better now. The fact is...
Firma, have you even set foot in a kitchen since leaving Hotel de Boer?
I have not. But I... Huh? That's strange. Why are my hands shaking?
What do you call this, Firma?
I can't seem to grip my knife.
Do it again! Again! Again!
I...
Hopeless. Get out of my kitchen yesterday.
Dad, what's wrong?
I don't understand. I was feeling so much better, and then Will I never be able to work in a kitchen again?
Dad, talk to me. What happened?
I think the real issue here is not physical exhaustion, but psychological trauma.
Monica, when did you get here?
Probably because you were all concentrating so hard on your cooking. I didn't want to interrupt your flow. But anyway, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known how serious your situation was, I would have
You have nothing to apologize for, Monica. During those long nights of redoing every order...
Oh, come on.
She sounds like the worst.
She's been getting harsher and harsher on us ever since she heard about Escoffier's new role in the Fleuve Cendre. Seems like no matter what we make, she'll find—
What is this? It looks like a dog's been at it.
Then she orders us to redo the dish again and again, but we never know what's going to make her happy.
Do it again, do it again, do it again!
every time you remake—
Either straighten yourself out, or get—
So now,
Oh, man. That must be—
the more I want to get it perfect, the more my hands shake, and the more scared I am of making another mistake.
How can you give up so easily, Firma? You weren't— and even under Savannah, you talk about working late into the night trying to perfect your dishes.
I don't know what's come over me. When I think back, I just remember feeling like my heart and my hands were growing heavier and heavier as the shift went on. Each time I had to redo a dish, my heart sank a little further. Maybe Savannah was right. Maybe I am just hopeless at this.
Dad.
I see. Well, it sounds like there are some deep issues at work here. Ones that won't be resolved by merely seeking compensation. I will win this contest, and after that, I encourage you to approach Savannah and talk this out.
But what if you can't find another assistant in time? Clearly, I'm in no state to help out.
You think being one person short will ruin my chances? Let's not forget, I taught you and her everything you know. Even if I had to go it alone, I would present the perfect gâteau.
Oh, well, Paimon and Navia will still keep practicing, just in case.
And so will I.
Yeah! And if worse comes to worse, we can always get the Spina di Rosula to put out an emergency call for chefs. There's gotta be someone out there, right?
Actually, I thought maybe I could help. That's sort of why I'm here.
What? Why didn't you say so?
I was going to, but then... well, this...
You do this for us?
Alright, fine by me. But aren't you still working for Savannah? Joining the—
I know, but it's alright. I've made up my mind. With the way things are, I can't keep working for Savannah much longer anyway. Unless I want to become the next Vermont. I'm done with sucking it up. It's time to try and turn things around. If this cooking contest can get Savannah to see the error of her ways, then—
Well, Paimon didn't think we'd be poaching from Savannah's staff to get our third person, but there you go. Anyway,
Great! Spina spawns.
yeah! Feast, feast, feast!
Alright, if you insist, then prepare for some of the finest food if you're alive. That's not a bad idea.
That was a dream come true. Paimon never knew Fontanian cuisine could be this good.
Why, Savannah? Oh, nothing. I was just flicking. I wanted to see if there was anything I'm missing. Something. but I can't find anything. It's just some The copy I gave her not only has all the recipes in full, but even includes my own private tips and notes. Yeah, maybe. Still, She was a little... Those qualities are why I recommended her to replace me as head chef. I never imagined for 1 second that she'd cause Fiamma and the other staff so much grief. Well, I mean to an extent, of course. I pushed hard for her to get the role. And the idea that she turned out like this because of me is difficult to come to terms with. I wonder if this is how Modeste felt back when he was writing the Codex. Yes, with his good friend. The story goes that after Modeste unveiled his Gâteau de Bourg and was hailed as a culinary genius, he was admired and adored by all. But unlike Modeste, whose every new creation was an instant hit, Savelli seemed to face setbacks at every turn. Doors that would swing wide open for Modeste, and with Modeste being whisked off to all manner of functions, but people started gossiping about Savelli. Everything came to an abrupt end in... One rumor had it that Savelli actually killed Modeste out of unlikely, but still, beyond a point, there's no way of knowing what truly happened in the past. All we can do, and that's why I have to win this contest tomorrow. Then get the truth about everything that's been going on, even if it means cracking her open like a nut. Really? Well, I like...
It's cooking contest day! To the...
Did you hear the news? A scoffier is coming back for a cooking contest.
Mesdames et messieurs.
Savannah, I've brought the original copy of the Codex you asked for.
Monica?
In the interests of fairness, this contest will be conducted in a double-blind format. Once the dishes are complete, they will be sent to the back of the kitchen where the labels will be placed out of sight underneath the plates, only to be revealed after the judges have sampled them and reached a final verdict. This is to ensure that no one will...
As one of the judges, I promise to be fair and impartial.
When my meal got interrupted yesterday, I never thought this is how they'd make it.
Both contestants have taken their positions. Then, without further ado, let the Hôtel de Bord cooking contest commence!
Monica, Traveler, even the best chef in the world can't flavor their food without prepping the flavoring, right?
Alphonse, Gaspar, get to work! Do not disappoint me.
Looks like our two head chefs are raring to go. Like an oven on full blast, this competition is quickly heating up.
should be enough flavoring. Now hurry up and bow.
Come on, scoffier! Come on, traveler!
Alphonse! What are you playing at? That's not how I taught you to do it! Stop horsing around and do it again!
Yes, Chef!
Oh, tension in the ranks on Team Savannah. Will this slow their progress?
Goodness sakes, Savannah, what are you doing? Oh. The balance of flavors is about right. But the quantity is too low.
So, what do you think?
A scoffier is already on the final step of the recipe. Let's check on Savannah's progress.
I think this...
Stay calm, Scoffier. There has to be a way to balance the flavors. Just think.
Enough! Oh, useless! Both of you! Make like an egg and beat...
You can't match Escoffier's talent.
I present to you Gâteau de Bourg. That went just as I expected.
Time's up! Contestants, please!
Huh. That guy was right. You really can't tell whose is...
We both made the same dish after all. For all her flaws, Savannah's a talented chef who earned my recommendation for good reason. She wouldn't screw up something as elementary as the cake's appearance.
Whoa! This is really rather good.
Wonderfully soft and fluffy. Beautifully sweet. This is a master.
I would give this one at least 9.9 out of 10. Only because there's something about the flavor of the base. It's just a little different from the recipe.
Huh? Really?
All right, on to gâteau number 2. I haven't...
I have a feeling that this gâteau will be a gâteau for the ages.
How exciting! I think maybe...
Not just the sugar, it's the flavors too. This is all a...
It appears the decision is unanimous. This gâteau is far below the standard we would...
And Paimon thought this might actually be close. Turns out she can't bake to save her life.
Something's not right here. Savannah may not be perfect, but...
I can now declare that the creator of the first gâteau has won this cooking...
What? It's... Savannah?
No.
Hey, Savannah! You cheated, didn't you? What did you do? Oh, you swapped the plates, didn't you?
Well, someone's a sore loser. These cakes went from the oven to the judge's table without me ever laying a finger on them. And everyone here can attest to it. It was Vanejem's staff who labeled them in the kitchen. If you're looking to accuse someone, why don't you start with them? Isn't it more likely that a scoffier's lost her edge? Oh.
You take...
Judges, we demand a rematch.
That's enough! What's done is done. As head chef, or rather as team lead, I take responsibility for the dish I serve. Savannah, I didn't think you'd stoop this low just to beat me in a bake-off.
I don't know what you're talking...
If you want the Codex to bore that much...
Scoffier, no.
But you must promise me that you'll apologize to Firma and compensate him for everything.
It's a little late to be negotiating terms. The contest is over, and I won. That means you owe me...
Look, Savannah, you may have fooled everyone else, but can you really fool yourself? What I'm offering is to accept defeat without but only on the condition that you promise to stop putting so much pressure on your staff.
Fine. I'll treat this. So, will that be all, ex-head chef?
I didn't mean that to be a scolding from your former boss. Just a word of advice from a fellow chef and a friend. But I don't know if you're even open to input.
I know what I'm doing. I don't...
All right, fine. I'm glad to hear it.
Scoffier?
The Codex de Boer! Finally.
Scoffier? How could you let her get away with this?
Yeah! The Codex is...
It's all right. It was just a bake-off, not the end of the world. Besides, it's not all bad. She agreed to compensate Firma. Honestly, if I'd have known that giving her the Codex would solve
No. No!
Huh?
That's it? No secrets, no nothing? I don't believe it! This can't be happening.
Oh, Chef Savannah!
Savannah?
It's nothing life-threatening. Just a lot of pent-up stress.
Oh, I knew it.
Pent-up stress?
The truth is, however hard she might be on the rest of us, the person she...
Yes, there are nights when she makes us redo things over and over into the wee hours. But for her, it's every night. She'll hide herself away in the kitchen, working on new techniques and recipes, and only
But why? Why would she do that?
Our best guess is... she doesn't want to be seen as less of a chef than a scoffier.
And there it is.
Even so, that's no excuse for taking her anger out on the rest of you.
Yeah, and it's definitely no excuse for cheating in the cooking contest.
Huh, about that.
Leone and our gal...
Not to worry. Come on, join me down. aggravated assault on my palate. I'd rather eat wet cement than this.
Is it really that bad?
Oh, relax. This isn't your cake. Savannah never switched the plates. The offending flavors are coming from in between the icing and the cake base, which means someone tampered with it while it was being made. Or in other words, we have a traitor in our midst.
I'm sorry. I was forced to— It was Chef Savannah. She said if I didn't cooperate, she would—
Calm down, Monica. I've already accepted defeat. And if I wanted retribution, I would have brought this up when the results were announced. Whatever's going on with you, just spill the beans.
I was the one who caused the food safety incident that one time.
Food safety? Wait, you mean the Lumaline incident? So you procured the
But I swear I didn't do it on purpose. I had no idea there was an issue with them, and I didn't— But the last thing I expected was for Savannah to use it as leverage to—
This is
I know, I thought Escoffier would hate my guts if she ever found out, and yet somehow that's ended up in me doing something even worse.
Seriously? Firstly, it's not like So, you don't need to feel ashamed or frightened or...
You mean...
Oh, well, I'm not... You should tell Vanish. Good. Now, back to Savannah. What about the original codex would compel her to resort to...
What happened to me?
I've overheard some customers murmuring about how the Hotel de Boer hasn't been the same since Scoffier left. They think...
Now that you mention it, I noticed it during the contest too. But the difference was so small, I'm sure no one would notice it besides our most loyal customers and Trude.
Still, as head chef, it's easy to see why Savannah would get so hung up on it. So many times I've seen her make the cake base over and over again, late into the night.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Never really...
Thinking back on it now, it's clear that Savannah's been in a downward spiral.
She wants to prove that she can fill Escoffier's shoes. That's gotta be the But after countless setbacks, she's getting more and more And at some point along...
Getting a Scoffier? For what?
Yeah, it would explain why she was bent on getting the original at any cost. She must have thought Escoffier purposely omitted key details. Also, she could retain her place as the #1 chef in Fontaine. The only one privy to...
Oh, for goodness sake.
What? Of course. Then she finally got the codex. Seeing how utterly wrong she was must have been a real shock to the system. It probably brought up
There's still one thing that doesn't make sense, though. If Savannah, she might not be on the same level as Escoffier, but surely after like 50 attempts, she'd get it right.
You'd think so, but geniuses like Escoffier are in a...
New head chef, you say? What's her name?
I wonder, can the Hotel de Boer keep its edge without Escoffier at the helm?
This tastes different from last time. Is it undercooked or something?
Take this. It's a copy of the Codex de Boer. From now on, you will be its keeper. Don't listen to the doubters. If I say you can do it, then you can do it. Hey, did you hear me? Once I'm gone...
All this time, I've been blaming other people.
I sincerely apologize. Let's give her the day to come.
In that case, I'll go and update Firma and his family.
So, we'll come back tomorrow then.
That was a long day.
Oh, nice! Macarons or...
Traveler, how much do you know about the snow-winged goose? Every year, they migrate long distances in search of a suitable... Fontaine poets often use the image of that goose to explore the ideas about leadership and genius. They usually imagine someone who's a cut above the rest, a model of perfection. But what those poets don't know is that during a migration, the lead goose is always changing. Once the lead goose shows signs of fatigue, it retreats to the back of the flock and allows another goose to take its place. So, the truth is that leadership, with all the responsibilities and pressures that come with it, it's something that everyone takes turns at. But we humans completely miss that fact when we project our own ideas about social hierarchies onto them. I guess what cooking is a science, not magic. Of course, some people have a more sensitive... I'd have no reason to expect so much from others if I believe... And come tomorrow...
Why are we here so early? Our meeting with Vanny Gem isn't for a while. Check on her? Why? Oh no, Escoffier!
I'm fine. Just need to get... Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Coffee. Strong, bitter coffee beans. Transform... I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up on your... Wait...
I'll save it for whenever...
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No...
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all only to find an... I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while if she's not here...
Boss, Escoffier...
Alphonse? You're supposed to be
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this stuff.
Oh, looks like a map with a...
Wait a second. This feels familiar. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures. Yeah, but...
The Codex...
Seriously?
Ugh, idiot. Does she have a death wish?
Hold on.
It was you. You let the Lumaline through. It sounds like...
Retrieve the... So the cooking...
She's keeping the true recipe to herself.
This is... First, we thought that Savannah...
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident. The demand for a cooking even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan. wasn't it?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater...
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drinks.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his...
Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the
we have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rock. See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need...
There is no time for that. Romaritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could... Off to the freezer!
Blubber beasts or not, are we sure this stuff is edible?
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. What was it? the tracks turned back again. Oh, so annoying. Hey, it's open!
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under a scoffier, and then you. Today, it's finally not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my little lapdog. Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the Did you not hear me?
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have...
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung over you. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story. He offered Modeste his friendship, he promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found. So you see,
I am no Savelli. No.
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest?
You're right.
Ooh, feisty.
But I somehow doubt that. Since I
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You... Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a very... I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just clean, fresh.
No.
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete...
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now, I failed.
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now the show's over.
You should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me.
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica! We've got you surrounded!
A scoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't!
Stay back if you want her alive!
Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in...
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve?
A recipe! You chefs are all blind.
Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius. The je ne sais quoi.
Are you serious?
I couldn't care less about the cake itself.
No, the real treasure is... He and Savelli were fools. A priceless... We're talking about a power... That's right. I've done...
Will you listen to yourself?
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on...
Wait, what?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh. Savannah's gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
That's true.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. A dash of frosting!
One with my blade.
The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere. They were probably awakened by the explosion sound. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping.
A touch of frost.
Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests.
breather. It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers. Got something for ya. Whirling snow. Yeah, coming Satelart. Sumetsu.
Submit for judgment.
I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Alright, I've got to jot this down. Lumitwols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh?
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. You really think so?
Trust our adventurer's instincts. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's death and... Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skill.
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well, but...
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, the treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about it, but our limited stock of the substance meant that the Gâteau could only be... He was praised as a genius. While I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with, Modeste tried his best to console me. But I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between us. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite further disdain by inserting myself where I told myself that maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day will never come.
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came back after Modeste had already died.
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient, the birthplace of Dato de Boer.
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true, maybe Savelli really did have something to do with it.
The taste of Gâteau de Boer has changed. Modeste was convinced of this. Even though everyone swore they couldn't, being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, it was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. What had changed was not the gâteau, but the treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? Over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of the finest culinary talent of his generation, now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. And because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him. Yet despite everything, he sent me
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria?
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall, what would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the... I cannot let... I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his... It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and... The final loose end is the evidence here. At the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong?
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure...
The treasure of Remoria. I have... Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the... But I have to think... But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of... Oh, it's...
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Scoffier? What's the deal with that jar?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make sure it would never harm anyone again. So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth, All my painstaking planning. All that for an empty jar?
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than you realize.
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord Remus. You barbarian shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out!
From whence you came! Forth, my blade!
Why is this place still shaking? Either way, enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
Yours.
Ren, I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Scoffier! Savannah!
Trevor!
Venejem!
What did you expect?
We had to do so.
It was my fault. Escoffier had to leave. Come back, Escoffier. Come and be.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and out the other?
Huh? Sorry.
If you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Scoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when
things were pretty...
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. At the end of the day...
No,
Well, about that...
It's been a while, Chef
Firmal? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to... But...
Actually, I think I'm
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then, and as it turns out...
No way!
It can. A small...
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking,
there's...
You mean...
Oh...
Let's not be too quick to blame. So you better make sure you reflect on your...
I will. I'm sorry. Is it just...
It's because the heating...
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was all the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty... I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem in just one night? It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth. You're a genius, and I'm just plain old Savannah.
Oh, cut it out! Stop! Do you know how long I spent perfecting my Gâteau de Bourg? 3 years! 3 whole years! I know this dish inside out, back to front and upside down. And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If you clearly have no idea, genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did. You're only allowed. Surely you.
That.
Aw, what a perfect.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah.
Aw, friends again. So nice to.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch.
But that. Right. And.
No. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is
Hey!
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in!
Quite rightly, too.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? I had 2 reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a... So I decided...
Improve!
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Liyue. And in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be... Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now. Did you taste the difference?
What? Paimon didn't...
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact... And the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the...
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore.
In the meantime...
All right!
Oh, of course. I've already promised...
Surely, Mom, she practically dedicated her life to find...
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings, the so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remoria...
Huh?
Don't forget. And as for the loom, even if Savelli...
So after all that, feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels...
Hey!
Huh?
You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. Did you see anything? Experts say...
Wait! Isn't that the jar they...
If only it was still in one piece.